every major mistake that started pandemics. You want to learn about it? Let's talk about it. Let's do it, man. Welcome to the channel. I'm Carlos, by the way. What's up, sexy? Cutie? Let's do it.
Typhoid Mary.
Okay.
She knew she was killing people, and she never stopped cooking.
Prank call videos.
Mary Mallon was a cook, a good one. She worked for wealthy families in New York
This is
City
an old
at the turn
one.
of the 20th century,
This is an
and her
old
specialty was peach ice cream, a
Wow.
delicate dessert served cold.
Don't tell me that the ice cream is about to freaking cause a whole pandemic. I'm about to get mad, bro.
Never heated, passed from her hands directly to her employers' mouths.
Wow.
There was just one problem.
Okay, yeah.
Everywhere Mary worked, people got sick, fever,
what was Mary doing?
diarrhea, death. Between 1900 and 1907, she worked for 8 families.
Bro.
7 experienced typhoid
Was she
outbreaks.
poisoning
but by the
people?
time anyone connected the dots, Mary had already moved on. No
Oh my
forwarding
God.
address, no trace. In 1906, a sanitary engineer named George Soper was hired to investigate an outbreak in Oyster Bay. 6 of 11 people in a wealthy banker's household had fallen ill. Soper traced every source: water, food, shellfish, nothing. Then he
God.
found the common thread: the cook, a tall Irish woman who had left the household shortly after the outbreak began. Soper tracked Mary down in Manhattan. He explained what he had discovered and asked for samples to prove his theory. But Mary grabbed a carving fork and chased him out of the kitchen.
Bro,
when
what?
authorities finally came to arrest her in 1907, it took 5 police officers and a female doctor who had to physically sit on top of her in the ambulance.
Bro, this broad was goddamn evil. There ain't no damn way she was getting away with all of this.
During
What?
questioning, Mary admitted she almost never washed her hands. At the time, even many doctors didn't fully accept germ theory. Tests confirmed the
Nah,
truth.
bro.
Mary was a typhoid factory. Her gallbladder was producing Salmonella typhi bacteria by the millions, and she
Oh, nah. She was one of them ratchet little skanks. I can't lie. That's freaking nasty, dude.
was completely asymptomatic. She felt healthy. She looked healthy. But everything she touched with her unwashed hands became a death sentence. She was quarantined on North Brother Island for 3 years. In 1910, the health department released her on one condition: never work as a cook again. 5 years later,
You're fried. You're not gonna cook no more. And you don't want to know what's nasty? There is still people like that to this day roaming around in your local restaurants, you know, in your local kitchens, cooking up meals every day for people. There are some dirty people out there, you guys. They'll be in there scratching their booty buns and their freaking balls and then go and touch your food. Sprinkle a little bit of goddamn pubic hairs on top of your steak. You're good to go. Put it in the mashed potatoes. It's freaking nasty.
erupted
Nah. Okay, continue.
Sloan Maternity Hospital in Manhattan. 25 people infected, 2 dead. Doctors, nurses, new mothers. The cook's name was Mary Brown. It was Mary Mallon. She was
Mary
sent back
Brown
to
was
North Brother
going
Island,
crazy,
this
man.
time for good. She spent the next 23 years in isolation, a total of 26 years of her life imprisoned without trial.
Wow.
She died in 1938. An autopsy found live typhoid bacteria still thriving in her gallbladder. The final count? At
Bro,
least
she was
51 infections, possibly
a freaking goddamn walking fungus.
over 120. And here's what makes it
Typhoid
unforgivable.
Mary, man.
After 1907, she knew exactly what she was. She just didn't care. The siege of Kaffa. They didn't know they were infected.
These are
so they
old
ran,
pandemics.
and they brought death to an entire continent. In 1346,
Wow.
the
What?
Mongol Golden Horde was besieging Kaffa, a wealthy Genoese trading colony on the Crimean
It's a
coast.
long time
the
ago.
city had held out for nearly 3 years. Its walls were strong. Supplies arrived by sea. The Mongols couldn't break through. Then plague arrived in the Mongol camp. Soldiers began dying by the thousands. Swellings appeared in their armpits and groins. Fever followed. Then death, sometimes within hours. The army that had conquered half the known world was being destroyed by something invisible. According to the Italian notary Gabriele de Musi, the Mongol commanders made a desperate decision. They loaded their plague dead onto trebuchets, massive siege engines capable of hurling hundreds of pounds, and launched the corpses over the walls. The defenders tried to dispose of the bodies, dragging them to the sea. But it was already too late. The infection spread inside the walls, and people started
Spreading,
dying.
man. Wow.
The siege ended in 1347 when the
That
Mongols,
was a long
decimated by
time
disease,
ago.
finally withdrew. The Genoese had survived, but then they made the mistake that killed a continent. They fled. Hundreds of merchants, sailors, and families boarded ships bound for Constantinople, Venice, Genoa, and other Mediterranean ports. They thought they were escaping death, but they didn't realize they were carrying it with them. No one understood how plague spread. No one thought to quarantine. The concept didn't even exist yet. So infected ships sailed into the busiest ports in Europe, and sailors stumbled ashore.
I think that was so cool that back in the days when there wasn't no planes or nothing, anywhere that you wanted to go, you had to go sail the goddamn 7 seas, all right? You jump in a goddamn boat that don't have a motor on it, put up them goddamn wind sails, and just go down in the ocean and travel to whatever it is that you're going to. I find that more adventurous, and people are more adventurous, during these times. Like sailing in the ocean, that just sounds like it sounds and it seems fun.
were carrying something far worse than cargo. Within months, the Black Death had reached Italy. Within years, it had swept
Wow.
across Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa.
Oh, that shit
Entire
spreaded,
villages
man.
vanished. Cities lost half their populations. Bodies piled in the streets faster than anyone could bury them. The final toll? 75 to 200 million dead. Europe lost
What?
between 30 and 60% of its entire population. The Mongols may have thrown the first
Now this has me curious how many people actually passed away from COVID.
bodies, but the merchants who fled Kaffa, desperate, terrified, completely unaware, carried the plague across the sea and into the heart of civilization. They weren't villains. They were survivors, and that's what made them so dangerous. The infected blood scandal. They knew the blood was infected. They had a safer version, and they chose to sell the contaminated product anyway to countries that wouldn't ask questions. In the early 1980s, hemophiliacs depended on a medication called Factor VIII to survive.
Yeah.
Without it, even a minor injury could cause uncontrollable bleeding. The drug was revolutionary. It was also made by pooling blood plasma from up to 60,000 donors per batch. And that was the problem. Pharmaceutical companies paid for plasma. The cheapest sources were the riskiest: prison inmates, intravenous drug users, men from urban gay communities, and other high-risk
What?
populations no one fully understood yet. One infected donor could contaminate an entire batch, and thousands of batches were shipped worldwide. By
This is giving
1982,
me the ick.
CDC reported hemophiliacs contracting a mysterious new disease. By January 1983, internal documents show Bayer's Cutter Biological Division acknowledged strong evidence that
AIDS!
AIDS was transmitted through plasma products.
Bro, no way. There was goddamn transferring AIDS through this shit, man.
By March, the CDC publicly warned that blood products appeared responsible for AIDS among hemophiliacs. In May 1983, a competitor began producing heat-treated Factor VIII, a version that killed the virus. Bayer followed in February 1984, releasing the safer product in the United States and Europe. But they didn't destroy the old stock. Internal documents revealed what happened next. Cutter continued manufacturing the older, untreated medicine for months. When a Hong Kong distributor asked about the newer product, Cutter told them to use up stocks of the old one first. They shipped more than 100,000 vials
Bro.
of potentially contaminated Factor VIII to Asia and Latin America. When doctors in Hong Kong asked if they were receiving AIDS-tainted medicine, Bayer assured them it was the same fine product we have supplied for years. It was. That was the problem. Thousands of hemophiliacs tested positive for HIV.
Bro, they were just handing out goddamn HIV and AIDS like it was damn candy, bro.
In Japan, nearly all of the country's hemophiliacs with AIDS were infected through Factor VIII. In the UK, over 1,200 were infected with HIV, and nearly 3,000 have died. In the US, an estimated 10,000 hemophiliacs contracted HIV, including Ryan White, a 13-year-old who became the face of the epidemic before dying at 18. The companies paid hundreds of millions in settlements. No executive went to prison. Dr. Sidney Wolfe, who investigated the industry for decades, called the internal documents the most incriminating pharmaceutical industry documents I have ever seen. They had the safer product, but they made a choice, and they shipped death to whoever couldn't say no. The Spanish flu. The deadliest pandemic
We're
in
getting
history
closer
didn't
to
start in
COVID,
Spain.
y'all.
It started in Kansas, and the U.S. government knew soldiers were getting sick, but shipped them overseas anyway. In January 1918, a mysterious respiratory illness appeared in Haskell County, Kansas. Local doctor Loring Minor was alarmed enough to warn the U.S. Public Health Service, but his warning was ignored. 2 months later, on March 4th, an Army cook named Albert Gitchell reported to the infirmary at Camp Funston, a military training base in Kansas. He had a fever, sore throat, and aching muscles. Within a week, 522 soldiers at the camp were sick. The timing couldn't have been worse. The United States had just entered World War I. Hundreds of thousands of young men were being shipped to Europe, and the virus traveled with them. By April, the disease had reached France. By May, it had spread across Europe. And by summer, it had circled the globe. But no one knew how bad it really was. The US, Britain, France, and Germany were all censoring their newspapers to maintain wartime morale. Any report of mass illness among troops was suppressed. Spain, which was neutral in the war, had no such censorship. So when Spanish newspapers reported the outbreak, the world assumed that's where it started. They called it the Spanish flu. But it was a lie that stuck. The first wave was mild. The second wave, in the fall of 1918, was catastrophic. The virus had mutated. Victims developed fevers and struggled to breathe. Their skin turned blue, then purple, then black as oxygen left their bodies. Doctors
Black?
called it the purple death. Patients drowned in their own fluids, sometimes within
Oh.
hours of showing symptoms. And unlike normal influenza, this strain killed the young and healthy. People aged 20 to 40 died at the highest rates, their own immune systems turning against them in what scientists now call a cytokine storm. In Philadelphia, city officials ignored warnings and held a massive parade on September 28th. Within days, hospitals were overwhelmed. Within weeks, 12,000 were dead. By the time it was over, the Spanish flu had infected 1/3 of the world's population, 500 million people. Death toll estimates range from 25 to 100 million, more than World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam combined. The war killed 17 million. The virus they helped spread killed at least 3 times that, and it all started with a sick cook in
17 million is a very goddamn high number.
Kansas, and a government that decided troop movements mattered more than a warning from a country doctor. COVID-19. 6 years later, we still don't know exactly how it started, and that might be the most unsettling part of all. In late December 2019, a 34-year-old ophthalmologist named Li Wenliang noticed something alarming at Wuhan Central Hospital. Patients were arriving with a mysterious pneumonia that didn't respond to treatment. Lab results showed a coronavirus similar to SARS, the virus that had nearly caused a pandemic in 2003. On December 30th, Li sent a private message to fellow doctors warning them about the cases. Within days, he was summoned by police and forced to sign a statement admitting to spreading false rumors and seriously disturbing social order. And on January 10th, he developed a cough after treating an infected patient. On February 7th, 2020, Li Wenliang was dead. The virus had spread beyond Wuhan, beyond China, beyond any hope of containment.
Bro, that's so crazy. Like, this virus, how far and how much it actually spread throughout the world.
On March 11th, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a global pandemic. Within 2 years, over 6 million people were confirmed dead. Though
6 million people died from COVID? Nah, rest in peace. I have an uncle that passed away from COVID, so when it comes to this matter, I take it very serious.
The real number is likely 3 to 5 times higher. And here's what we still don't know: where it actually came from. The leading theory is natural spillover. A coronavirus living in bats infected another animal, possibly a pangolin, and then jumped to humans at the Huanan seafood market. Virus lived. We still don't know. People were confirmed dead, though the real number is likely 3 to 5 times higher. And here's what we still don't know: where it actually came from. The leading theory is natural spillover.
Natural spillover. Okay, we go here from a bat. Is this really?
A coronavirus living in bats infected another animal, possibly a pangolin, and then jumped to humans at the Huanan seafood market, where live wild animals were sold alongside.
Bro, that is just so foul. People are actually eating bats. Like, I couldn't even imagine how they even taste. Like, just look at them. Like, why would you want to eat a bat? Could they really be that good?
Everyday groceries.
Look at them.
It's the same pattern behind SARS and.
Let me know, yes or no. Would you actually eat a bat? Is that nasty, or you think it might taste like some good old chicken or something? I don't know.
MERS. Scientists had been warning since 2007 that bat coronaviruses were a time bomb waiting to explode. But there's another theory. The Wuhan Institute of Virology, located just miles from the market, was actively researching bat coronaviruses. Some investigators believe the virus may have accidentally leaked from the lab during research. The U.S. intelligence community remains divided. No definitive proof exists either way. What we do know is this: in the critical early weeks, information was suppressed. Doctors were silenced. The wet market was sanitized before scientists could collect samples. And by the time the world understood what was happening, the virus was already everywhere. COVID-19 killed millions. It shut down economies, overwhelmed hospitals, and changed how we live. And unlike every other disaster in this video, we still can't say for certain what the mistake was, or even if there was one we could have prevented. Maybe it was the wet markets. Maybe it was the lab. Maybe it was ignoring a decade of warnings. Or maybe it's the fact that 6 years later, we still don't have an answer.
I still don't know for sure, huh? What do you guys think about the coronavirus? I really want to know your opinions. All right, so that wraps this video up. Shout out Dave Explains. Original video will be tagged down below in the description. Please like the video, drop comments, subscribe to the channel, and I'll check y'all out later. Peace out.